SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Treasurer David McRae has returned more unclaimed money to Mississippians than all previous state treasurers combined. More than $170 million back in the hands of households, businesses, churches, and nonprofits. Treasurer McRae is on a roll, and he's not letting up. Search for and claim your money today. Treasury.ms.gov.
It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9. Glad to be with you this Wednesday morning in the Golden Triangle or wherever you're listening. Of course, you can get this in podcast form. You can get this on supertalk.fm, or you can get this on the SuperTalk app. We are proud to bring you some Mississippi State sports talk each and every week here on SuperTalk. So thankful for all of you for joining us again this week as baseball is in full force. Spring is springing. Allergies are starting to kick up. That's fine. That means baseball season is in the heat of the SEC schedule, and we saw Mississippi State really go to work in the SEC schedule last week at Duty Noble Field in the middle of a 5-game homestand. Mississippi State sweeps Vanderbilt in Starkville, and just a fantastic series for Mississippi State in just about every phase. They weren't perfect on the mound. They weren't perfect in the field. They weren't perfect at the plate, but they were really good as a whole all season long, or all weekend long, against a Vanderbilt team that's coming off a series win over LSU, one of the top offenses in the country, especially in the SEC. And Mississippi State did a fantastic job of navigating that offense the entire weekend. And the one game that Vanderbilt really kind of came alive offensively, State exploded. A 17-7 Game 3 win for Mississippi State to get the series sweep. The first sweep for Mississippi State over a Tim Corbin coach team. Vanderbilt has not been swept by Mississippi State since Tim Corbin has been the head coach there. And quite frankly, Corbin has kind of dominated this series with the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs had not beaten Vanderbilt since 2014 at home, at least in the series, that is. And this is the first sweep against that program since 2000. So a heck of a job by Brian O'Connor's team, and a great bounce back after what happened a couple of weeks ago in Fayetteville in a very winnable series for Mississippi State. Very easily could have won any of those 3 games. They lost on the Game 1 and they lost Game 3. Coming out of that and fixing some of their issues and going out there and fighting some adversity a couple of times in this series against Vanderbilt and sweeping it was just massive, and it shows the direction of this team. Now, there was a big game on Tuesday night, and as you guys know, I record this show on Tuesday morning because of how my schedule works, so that's just a little behind-the-scenes magic, I guess you can say, on this. So we don't have a report on that Tuesday night game. Coming into that ball game, Mississippi State was undefeated at Duty Noble Field, and the Bulldogs were looking for a measure of revenge against a Southern Miss team that beat them in Hattiesburg earlier this month. Win or lose in that game, it's kind of non-consequential for Mississippi State long term, but it would be a really good feather in the cap of Brian O'Connor to continue to see that momentum carry into what's a huge weekend with Mississippi State going to Oxford to take on the rival Ole Miss Rebels. So really big things for Mississippi State ahead. We'll see if they can keep it rolling. We have a lot to talk about on the show today. Baseball series is going to take precedent, kind of where the baseball team is right now. Ryan McPherson, the Friday night starter, went down with an injury. He left the ball game against Vanderbilt on Friday night in the middle of what was a really good pitching performance from him. What's the latest with him? We don't have all the answers, but we will at least give a little bit of clarity on what we saw on Friday night, kind of where we're leaning on things might be for him. And what does Mississippi State do if Ryan McPherson cannot go for them long term? A lot of questions to answer there with Ryan McPherson, and it could hold a lot of things in the balance for this team. How good this team can be might hinge on the fact of how healthy Ryan McPherson is for them moving forward. So we're going to talk about that. Some big high school coaching news. It seems like that's been heating up over the last month or so, some big things happening in Starkville, Mississippi. We got some big high school coaching news that we reported on at the Starkville Daily News earlier this week. So we will bring all that to you and more here on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. When we get back, we're going to hear from Brian O'Connor in full, his full press conference after Sunday's sweep, to get his thoughts on how the Bulldogs did against Vanderbilt. All that coming your way on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. You guys stay tuned for more.
At Bank Okolona, consistency isn't just something we strive for. It's our way of doing business. Whether you're in Okolona or Houston, Manatee or Bruce, Tupelo or Aberdeen, you'll always find friendly faces, helpful service, and hometown values. One bank, multiple communities. Consistently here for you. Find the branch nearest you at bankokolona.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Power up your convenience with the 4County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
At the Citizens Bank, we're showing off our baby bump. But it's our customers who can expect a bundle of joy. That's because Sprout Savings now offers new parents an opening deposit bonus of $250 for your newborn through age 6 months. We may be biased, but we think this baby savings bump will turn out to be really smart.
See a nice round bump in your Sprout savings from the Citizens Bank in your corner. Member FDIC. Terms apply. Limited time offer.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk 100.9. Glad to have you along with us. And also glad to have Mr. Jess Brantley and Alpha Insurance. I tell you guys every week just how great Jess is and his crew over there in West Point. Alpha Insurance is my insurance company. That's who I go for. That's who I trust. They've saved me a lot of money, but I just love doing business with these people because they're so good. And I know people that are, I would consider the big wigs, I guess you could say, at Alpha, some people that are kind of high up. It starts at the top, folks, and it works its way down to these people in the local communities that are doing a lot of the work for people in our area. Jess Brantley is one of those, and he does an amazing job over there in West Point. Those guys will set you up across the board. Car insurance, life insurance policies, homeowners insurance policies. Go check them out. Jess will get you going. Call him at 662-494-4142, or you can visit him over there in his office at 36 South 4th Street in West Point. He would love to see you guys. All right, so it was a big weekend for Mississippi State. They won those first 2 games against Vanderbilt, and we'll break down the series a little bit more in the next segment. But I did want to hear from Brian O'Connor because I thought he had some really good thoughts after the game on Sunday. But they won the first 2, and Brian O'Connor's message to his team was do not be satisfied with those 2 wins. They wanted a series sweep. And, man, did they play like it. Let's hear from Brian O'Connor to hear his thoughts on how his team reacted to that Game 3 and the effort that they gave in that final game to make sure that they brought home not just 2 wins, but 3. Here's Brian O'Connor to get his thoughts on how things went in Starkville this weekend.
Coach, I mean, you play every game in hopes to win, and you win all 3 this weekend. I mean, just maybe talk about your team just kind of fighting through, piecing this thing together, and coming up with 3 big SEC wins.
Yeah, 3 huge wins. You know, they were all a little bit different, but, you know, today, wind blowing out, right, hitters type day, and our offensive approach was just, you know, just relentless. Just very opportunistic, relentless, a lot of 2-strike RBI hits, or, you know, Noah Sullivan starting to rally with 2 outs with the base hit the other way. You know, I challenged the team last night that are you satisfied, right? That you have to learn as a team in this conference when you have an opportunity to do something special on a weekend. You need to capitalize on it, and we certainly did that today. Pretty complete weekend. It was good to see some guys really emerge. Kevin Maluski catching all 3 games. I thought he caught the ball really well and handled our pitching staff really well. Had a couple of nice home runs, and just really a pretty special weekend, and they proved to themselves that they can finish somebody off. And you know, Vanderbilt's got a really high quality offensive team, and I think that speaks to, you know, our pitching and how well we pitched this weekend to hold them down. They showed a little bit today their power, and you know, just really proud of our whole ball club, but especially our pitching staff.
Doug. Coach, to follow up on that, you get the home conference sweep. It ends in a walk-off. You have 2 top 10 crowds. I'm guessing there were still some wishes of yours that were not granted, though.
Sure. You know, I mean, obviously we're, you know, as a coach or as a player, you're searching for perfection, knowing you're never going to attain it, right? And so, you know, would we have liked Duke Stone to pitch better? Sure, but he's pitched so great, you know, most of the year, and it's a learning opportunity for him. You know, I'm proud of these guys. There's nothing that I'm disappointed in. You know, obviously it was an emotional weekend, our first SEC series. This team, this group together with so many new guys, and they handled it really well, and it looked like that they were enjoying the moment and having a lot of fun out there all weekend. And just every time that we had to, we came fighting back. And you know, I don't feel like there's too many things that you know, you'd say that we need to learn on and improve on. Robbie?
I got a couple. First of all, do you have an update yet on McPherson?
No, nothing's changed since Friday. You know, where he's continuing to be evaluated. He had a MRI today, so we'll find out what the results of that are. You know, sometimes you do those just to be precautionary, but we'll know more in the coming days about what his situation is.
And secondly, you spoke about the pitching, and one of the question marks, I guess, coming in this weekend was who's going to emerge there, maybe for roles, and if you could get a lot of production. I think they gave up 2 runs the whole weekend against a really good lineup.
Yeah.
What did you think of that development this weekend of those guys just stepping up and pitching well?
Well, liked what I saw. You know, really liked what I saw of Brennan Sweeney last night. That's the Brennan Sweeney that we saw in the fall and in the preseason. The velocity was where it needed to be. The changeup, the slider was where it needed to be. Loved what I saw there. You know, I thought Pitzer filled up the zone with strikes. A couple, you know, Maddox Webb is better than he pitched on Friday night. But and then we still didn't use some guys, you know, Maddox Miller and other guys number of other guys that we believe that can help us, and we're gonna need a lot of them. We've got a pretty good ball club that we're playing on Tuesday here. So just impressed with what we started to show from a relief pitching standpoint.
Sam? Reed Stallman's really having a breakout season here. Just what do you like about the way he's played, you know, from the start, and having a big game today?
Yeah, just maturity with Reed Stallman. He's 23 years old, that has been around college baseball, understands what makes himself successful, has hit a lot of balls hard. He's one of those guys I talk about, like through the totality of the season. Top 3 or 4 on our club as far as hitting the ball hard on a consistent basis, and sometimes they just don't fall for him. Today they did. So just maturity, consistency is what he's brought to this ball club this year.
Brandon?
Yeah, you guys have had some talent home runs all weekend. Just what you think of your team kind of showcasing some power this weekend? Yeah,
I mean, you have to hit home runs, right? But you have to have a complete offensive team, and I feel like we showed that this weekend. We showed some power out of a number of different guys, and you got to hit home runs. But if you go up there as an offensive unit, as collectively as a group, trying to hit home runs all the time, you won't have a very good offense. What I am impressed with is, like I said, Noah Sullivan's base hit the other way, had 2 of them the other way. Jacob Parker against the submarine guy, not trying to do too much and pulling off the ball and taking the base hit right up the middle. And that's maturity. That's what you have to do. You have to take what the game gives you. Sometimes that's going to allow you to hit the ball at the ballpark, and we're going to need to do that. But, even though we struck out 8 times today, in the first 2 ball games, our strikeouts were really, really low. And you have to put the ball in play, and you have to compete. And I feel like we're really doing that very, very well.
All right, so that was Brian O'Connor, the coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who is off to a 20-4 start in his opening season with State. 4-2 now in conference play with a huge week ahead. Again, we don't know what happened on Tuesday night. You do at this point, but I need my guy, future Brian from Thunder and Lightning, to come over here and give us some thoughts on that. But obviously a big game against Southern Miss, but an even bigger series this weekend coming up with Ole Miss. To get that series sweep, getting sweeps are so big in the grand scheme of things. It makes up a game here and there, and taking care of business at home is always important. You want to win the series, but if you got a chance to sweep, you've got to get it. And that's exactly what this team did with a 17-7 win in just 7 innings against Vanderbilt. A phenomenal offensive performance to end that series. And then the other 2 games, I thought pitched it extremely well. And we're going to break that down a little bit more in the next segment. I want to talk a lot about Ryan McPherson and his future, and also Tomas Valinkas and what he did on Saturday as well. But overall, this was just a tough weekend for Mississippi State to come out and get 3 wins. It's a Vanderbilt team that's not as dominant as they used to be. They've got some issues for sure, especially on the pitcher's mound. But this is an offense that's been really good this season. Last week, or the week before, against LSU, they were dominant at the plate. And this was a tough offense to get through, and State navigated it very well. So this was a really good series sweep for them. And now you got Ole Miss coming up this weekend. A big weekend in Oxford. We'll see if State can replicate it and have another big weekend against an even better team, an Ole Miss. So that's coming up. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, I want to break down that Vanderbilt series a little more and give you some of my thoughts. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on Super Talk 100.9.
Hey there, I'm Lee Burrell with Citizens Bank in Starkville. If you're thinking about growing your business, whether it's adding equipment, expanding your space, or starting something new, I'd love to help make it happen. At the Citizens Bank, we're in your corner, working with you one-on-one to find lending options that fit you. So stop by and see me at 201 Highway 12 West in Starkville, or give me a call at 662-323-1420, or visit www.thecitizensbankphila.com. I'm Lee Burrell, your hometown commercial lender, here to help your business take the next big step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dream lawns need a realistic plan, and Kubota has reliable, powerful, zero-turn mowers to help you see those dreams come to life. Plus, dealer support to help you achieve your goals. Stop by today. Right now, bring home select Kubota Z400 series for 0 down, 1.99% APR for up to 48 months. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Fork County Electric Power Association has spent more than 85 years working to improve the quality of life of all we touch. And that's why we created the Fork County Foundation. Thanks to the generosity of Fork County member owners, the foundation has awarded more than $2.5 million to organizations that support the communities we serve. If you have a 501c3 organization that helps improve the lives of Fork County members, visit forkcounty.org and see if the Fork County Foundation can help you.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
At Bank Okolona, consistency isn't just something we strive for. It's our way of doing business. Whether you're in Okolona or Houston, Manatee or Bruce, Tupelo or Aberdeen, you'll always find friendly faces, helpful service, and hometown values. One bank, multiple communities. Consistently here for you. Find the branch nearest you at bankokolona.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk 100.9 and the Golden Triangle. We are brought to you by each and every week Matheson Hardware and Building Supply over in Matheson, Mississippi. The good folks over there, Brad Huffman and Ted Dewitt, have reshaped a legendary building in the heart of Matheson, Mississippi that's been there for over 100 years and has been such a pivotal part of that town for such a long time. They've redone that building. It's beautiful inside. They got every single thing that you need for your projects. You're building a house all the way down to, just fixing a toilet. They got it right there at Matheson Hardware. And don't forget, they deliver as well. They'll bring it right to your job site if you're in the area. So you got to go check them out today. It's Matheson Hardware over on Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, just off of Highway 82. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon. They are closed on Sunday, but you can also call them at 662-263-4583. That's Matheson Hardware and Building Supply. Mississippi State wins all three against Vanderbilt. And we didn't talk about the Jackson State game last week, but, that one is what it is. 17-1, Mississippi State won that ball game. They win 3 more against Vanderbilt. Coming into Tuesday's game against Southern Miss, 16-0 start at home for Mississippi State. Got to be one of the best home starts in school history. I would have to go look that up. But this was a big series. You're coming off a series loss to Arkansas, where you had a walk-off home run on Friday night. It was 3-3 in the 8th inning in that game 3 against Arkansas, and bullpen, defense, everybody just kind of imploded there for Mississippi State down the stretch, and that was a tough ending to the ball game for the Bulldogs because they were right there, and it was some frustrating moments in that ball game, especially defensively, some things that State could control, they just didn't do it. And they just kind of, I don't want to say folded on the road, but I think that the pressure was a little bit too much on them. It was a lot like the Southern Miss game, and I think that this team will get better and better at handling that. They've played really well at home, but on the road, there has been some moments, especially, at Southern Miss and Arkansas, and then you had UCLA at a neutral site. But, State's lost 3 games, 3 other 4 coming into Tuesday night's game with Southern. 3 out of the 4 were by 1 run. And then the other game, it was tied in the 8th inning. So State has had the possibility to win every game that they played this year. And that's all that you can ask for. Brian O'Connor has said it. If State was playing 100% at his best at all times, they'd be undefeated right now, and nobody in college baseball is undefeated. That's just not how baseball works. There's going to be nights where it's not your best, and you don't find a way to win. There hasn't been a whole lot of teams in baseball history in just about any level that have won every single game that they played. So what you do is you take those moments and you learn from them. And there's going to be more losses for Mississippi State this year. They're likely going to lose double-digit games. That's just how baseball works. The schedule that they play, they're going to play great teams, and there's going to be nights where State just is not playing their best. But there are things that this team had to clean up on the mound, coaching decisions, defensively. There's a lot of things that this team had to clean up. They didn't come through in some situations offensively at Arkansas. So this team is still learning. And what we saw in Starkville over the weekend, I thought they took a lot of what happened in those ball games, and they found a way. You look at Friday night, adversity struck in the middle of that ball game. Ryan McPherson was pitching extremely well. He threw the first 4 innings of that game and had given up a couple of hits and a walk. He gave up a run as well, but just such a tough competitor. And in that 3rd inning, things got a little dicey for him. He fought back, got out of the inning, and it looked like he was about to settle back in after he had a 3-up, 3-down, I believe, 4th inning. So McPherson throws 4 innings. He gives up 2 hits, a run, 1 walk, and struck out 4. It was looking like it was going to be another solid game. He had only thrown 65 pitches through 4 innings. You're probably going to get 6 innings out of him at least, I think, and was controlling the game very well. State had built a 4-1 lead in that ball game. And all of a sudden, he comes out in the 5th inning, throws a warm-up pitch, and kind of spikes it into the dirt. And immediately, the trainer and Brian O'Connor came out for a chat. And McPherson leaves the ball game. Didn't even throw another pitch, I don't believe. He just came out of the game. So, Jack Gleason comes in. He had some time to warm up, but, mentally and, the fact that he might have gotten a little more time to warm up in another inning, not expecting to come right in the ball game. I just didn't think Gleason was fully set when he came in the game. He ends up, loading the bases, hit a couple of batters, walked a batter, loaded the bases with nobody out. But in true Jack Gleason fashion, he somehow got out of it, got a line out, and then got a 6-3 double play to get out of the inning. Came back the next inning, had 2 runners in scoring position with an out. Maddox Webb comes in, did walk a batter to load the bases, but he gets out of trouble. And then Ben Davis pitches the last 2 2/3 innings, gives up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, and what I thought was a really good relief appearance for him. So State's bullpen, after all that, gave up 1 run in 5 innings against a really good offense. The offense for Mississippi State never came back to life. They had 4 runs in the first 3 innings, never scored again. So State found a way in what was not its best night. That's what's plagued them in the 4 losses that they had. Didn't have their best night, but they found a way to win in this one. So that was big. Saturday, State got out to another big lead. Scored 4 runs in the 2nd inning to build a lead. It was 4-2 in the 4th, and then State answered and got a run, something that would happen often over the next couple of days on Saturday and Sunday. Tomas Valinkas in this game was phenomenal. The transfer from Virginia had that 1 inning where he gave up 2 hits. He hit a batter, I believe, and he gave up 2 unearned runs. He had an error to lead that inning off, and it never really settled down until later in the inning when Valinkas was able to get out of it. Outside of that inning, listen to this, what Tomas Valinkas did. The other 6 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts in the other 6 innings. Tomas Valinkas put up a performance to remember. Went 7 innings with 2 hits, 2 unearned runs, so he didn't have an earned run in this game. Dropped his ERA below 1 run. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, a career-high 14 strikeouts. He was absolutely dealing. Looks like one of the best starters in the SEC this year. Brennan Sweeney, by the way, came in. Really good development hit here. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And Sweeney, by the way, has been really good behind Tomas Valinkas. He's been fantastic. He's struggled in some other roles, struggled as a starter against Southern Miss, hasn't been great. I don't think he was great against Arkansas. Behind Valinkas, he's been lights out. That might be his spot on Friday nights, or on Saturdays or Fridays, whenever this is going to happen. You have Brendan Sweeney behind Tomas Valinkas. And then offensively, State got just enough in this. I thought Noah Sullivan was good, hit a home run, a big home run. Bryce Chance had a couple of hits as well. Sunday was a totally different game. State comes out on fire offensively. They just refused to just accept the 2 wins. They were going to get the series, but they also wanted to get the sweep here. 6 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, a run each in the fourth and the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and then a walk-off in the seventh. Bryce Chance in this game, he continues to amaze in the 9-hole. 4 for 5 with 3 RBI. Had a couple of 2-out hits again. He's now batting .533 with 2 outs. He's incredible. You had a 4-hit day from Reed Stallman, who's having an unbelievable year. A 3-hit day from Noah Sullivan. You had 4 home runs in this ball game. Kevin Maluski hit his second home run of the weekend. Just an all-around incredible offensive performance. When State was just not pitching it well, Duke Stone was doing what he was supposed to do, throwing strikes, but 4 innings, 6 runs on 6 hits. Charlie Foster came in, gave up a run. Tyler Pitzer was pretty good in relief as well. So that's the series. State wins it, sweeps it. They're now 4-2 in SEC play. They got a chance to build a lot of positive equity here in these first 3 weekends. You go to Ole Miss this weekend, you have a really good weekend there. People are really starting to talk about Mississippi State as a team towards the top of the SEC, because you look at the SEC standings right now, and it's a logjam. There's a lot of teams in here that have a chance to do some special things this year. Nobody's perfect in this league. Texas, State, Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, all 4-2 early. I think Arkansas has a little bit of an advantage with their schedule, but that offense could be an issue for them. They scored a lot of runs on that Friday night against South Carolina, but not so much after that. If that offense is going to be a problem for them, everybody's flawed. But State, I think, is going to have a shot. We'll see. Ryan McPherson is a big key here, and we have not heard yet an update on him. We're all sitting around waiting on that, hoping for the best for Ryan McPherson. All right, when we get back, I've got some high school coaching news in Starkville. Again, it's coming your way here on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
At Bank Oklahoma, consistency isn't just something we strive for. It's our way of doing business. Whether you're in Oklahoma or Houston, Manatee or Bruce, Tupelo or Aberdeen, you'll always find friendly faces, helpful service, and hometown values. One bank, multiple communities. Consistently here for you. Find the branch nearest you at bankoklahoma.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to complete those tough jobs and don't have the right equipment? Let H&R AgriPower in Columbus help you out. We now offer Kubota's mini excavators, track loaders, and L-Series tractors available for rent. You can also rent attachments like our cutter heads, grapples, post hole diggers, and more.
Give H&R AgriPower a call for daily, weekly, and monthly rental rates. Stop by your hometown dealer today. Visit us at our new location, located at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus.
At the Citizens Bank, we're showing off our baby bump. But it's our customers who can expect a bundle of joy. That's because Sprout Savings now offers new parents an opening deposit bonus of $250 for your newborn through age 6 months. We may be biased, but we think this baby savings bump will turn out to be really smart.
See a nice round bump in your Sprout savings from the Citizens Bank in your corner. Member FDIC. Terms apply. Limited time offer.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk is back here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. Thank you for joining me again. Today we are having a great Wednesday. Weather has been fantastic here the last week or so since that last cold snap came in. It's been a little bit of a crisp air feeling. But, you know, as the day goes on, it warms up. It feels great outside. It's kind of short weather. I had a phenomenal weekend at Duty Noble Field. 14,000 plus on Friday and Saturday, both nights. And then Sunday, 12,000. 40,000 plus people came to the park. That's why baseball is so important at Mississippi State. You're essentially getting another, like a SEC home football weekend. It doesn't quite hit that mark, but you're essentially getting that in the spring as well. With all the home weekends you get, you're essentially getting another SEC football schedule. That's why I think it's so important to invest in baseball for Mississippi State, because it does so much more for the city of Starkville, for the university, than what you might see on the revenue that Mississippi State pulls in there. And eventually, I think the baseball program has a chance to make some money. And Zach Selman and company are very good about figuring out unique ways to make up more money there. So it's just good for Mississippi State for the baseball program to be where it is. And I don't know if it's ever been as popular as it is right now. And Brian O'Connor has really put a jolt into that. I think fans are just super excited about this, and they want to watch a winner. You know, football's been struggling. Men's basketball struggled. They want to watch a winner, and this baseball team has a chance to do some special things. So, somebody else doing some special things, Austin Voller over at Voller Law, and we are so proud to have him on board with us again this week. Criminal accusations can destroy lives. And, Austin is a guy that can handle injury and death. He can handle criminal trials as well. You need to let Voller Law Firm's proven track record of winning help you and your loved ones during this very difficult time. From alcohol offense to murder, from trial to bail, Voller Law Firm has a history of results. Getting the attorneys at Voller on board is an investment in the rest of your life. At Voller Law Firm, results matter. Their lawyers have the experience, the ability, and the financial power to represent your cause and get the results you deserve. So put your trust in Voller Law Firm. You can call them at 662-323-0083 or go visit their website, vollerlawfirm.com. Appreciate you, Austin. So big news in Starkville. We reported about a month ago that John Carr was leaving Starkville High School for the NFL, was going to go be on the staff of the Cleveland Browns. Really incredible opportunity for John Carr. One of those things you just absolutely cannot turn down in your coaching career. But it ended just 1 year of work there. And so this program, searching for some stability, you have a change in leadership with Chris Jones leaving for Hines Community College a couple of years ago. Just 1 year later, you have John Carr going out the door. You know, athletic director Jay Hobson really wanted to go after somebody that could bring some stability there. So he went and got West Point coach Brett Morgan. So big news for Starkville High School during the middle of the spring. A little bit unexpected, but I think that this was the best result that you could imagine there at Starkville High School, to get a guy like Brett Morgan who could come in and build the program back up the right way there. Not that they're in rebuilding mode or anything. I mean, that's a Starkville program that is kind of selling itself at this point. but bringing that championship standard over from West Point is huge for them. Well, now we've got a change at Starkville Academy. A bit unexpected, but has been something that has been a topic of conversation if you've been inside the city of Starkville and around that Starkville Academy program for a while. I mean, it's just been hard to ignore. I've been covering Starkville Academy since 2015. That's when I started over at the Starkville Daily News as the high school beat writer. And the first football coach that I met, I believe, during that time was Chase Nicholson, who was the offensive coordinator for Jeff Terrell, who was at Starkville Academy for several years, had built a really good program there. Chase was a big part of getting Starkville Academy back on track as the team's offensive coordinator, was known as like a player's coach. The players really loved him there. He was still really young. He came from, I believe, Newton County Academy, and was a guy that had a lot of energy and worked hard, and players just loved him. Over the course of the next 11 years, Chase Nicholson was one of the more consistent coaches in the state of Mississippi in the MAIS, and especially in our area. When you look at it, I mean, he is the only coach remaining here in Starkville that in any sport at any of our high schools, he's the only coach remaining that was here that day, that year I started in 2015. That was my first football season with the Starkville Daily News, and he lasted all the way through 2026. 11 seasons, and was, if you talk to people there at Starkville Academy, so much more important than just being the football coach. He is a guy that has been an integral part of their athletic department. He was the AD for many years. The school, all the students loved Chase, and you talk to people, he just treated everyone the same. He wasn't playing favorites. He wasn't undermining anybody. Just a class individual, a class coach, ran an incredible program at Starkville Academy. They did things the right way. They didn't always have the most talented players on the field, but they were going to play their guts out for Chase Nicholson. And so Nicholson and Starkville Academy have parted ways. And a little bit of a shock for a lot of people. But there's been a lot of things behind the scenes there, a lot of people that have been wanting change at Starkville Academy for a while. Whether they're justified or not, their voices are heard. A lot of people there echo it, and a lot of people disagree with it. I think that it could be a mistake if you don't hire the right guy. This is a guy, when you have a coach like Chase Nicholson that has consistency, and the program is what it is, day to day, year to year, you know what you're getting from Starkville Academy with Chase Nicholson. When you make that change and you do it with a guy that has been there longer than anybody else, that has won more games than anybody else, he's won 38 more games than anyone else in school history. He's the only coach that's ever coached 10-plus years. When you lose that, sometimes it's not as good as you think it's going to be. So that old adage, you better be careful what you wish for. I hope that isn't the case here with Starkville Academy with Chase Nicholson moving on here. So we wish Chase the absolute best. He has been such a great coach to work with for the last decade over Starkville Academy. I know myself and Danny P. Smith have had so many great conversations with him. He's been so good to us over the years, and he's been so good to so many people. Developed character from guys that came through his program. Folks, a coach is so important for a young man and a young woman as well, but especially a young man having a football coach. A lot of kids out there, they don't have a father figure, or their father figure might not be the best guy to learn from. The example that a coach sets for a young man at a critical point in his life is so huge. And Chase Nicholson has done that. It's so much more than the wins and losses, and he's won a lot of games. He's won a state championship. He's been to 2 state titles. I think he's won 3 or 4 district championships. He's won a lot of games. He's been really successful. But the biggest impact he left was on these young men who have now become fathers and who are now going into college, and they're, that frontal lobe is starting to develop for a lot of these guys, and they're starting to develop into the man that they're going to become. The impact that he and his coaching staff made is going to make a lasting impression on those men. So, wishing the best for Chase. I'm just going to say, from taking the journalism hat off and knowing Chase and being around him, if he's listening, I would say that those of us that have been around and watched you coach ball and have watched you interact with these kids, just know that we have seen the impact that you've made on these young men. You were not a failure. You did not go to Starkville Academy and fail. What you did over the last 11 years was not, a complete wash. You did your job. You did it well. So hat tip to Chase Nicholson, who is not done coaching. Wherever he goes at this point, he is going to make a major impact on that coaching staff. So wishing him the best. Starkville Academy now looking for a head coach, and hopefully they can find someone that's been as successful as Chase Nicholson and who is able to get the job done over there. Great school over there. They got a lot of changeover. They got a new head of school coming in, some new coaches, things of that nature. But they have a really good foundation over there, and some really good people are in charge. So I imagine they're going to get this thing back rolling again. All right, guys, when we come back, a little more of Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Hey there, I'm Lee Burrell with Citizens Bank in Starkville. If you're thinking about growing your business, whether it's adding equipment, expanding your space, or starting something new, I'd love to help make it happen. At the Citizens Bank, we're in your corner, working with you one-on-one to find lending options that fit you. So stop by and see me at 201 Highway 12 West in Starkville, or give me a call at 662-323-1420, or visit www.thecitizensbankphila.com. I'm Lee Burrell, your hometown commercial lender, here to help your business take the next big step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dream lawns need a realistic plan, and Kubota has reliable, powerful, zero-turn mowers to help you see those dreams come to life. Plus, dealer support to help you achieve your goals. Stop by today. Right now, bring home select Kubota Z400 series for 0 down, 1.99% APR for up to 48 months. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Power up your convenience with the 4-County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4-County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber. Locally trusted, landowner approved.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs is back here on SuperTalk 100.9, the Golden Triangle. Thank you for joining me for yet another episode here. I do want to, before we get out of here, let you guys know that next week, as we have our Talkin Dawgs on the April 1st, I guess. It'll be April Fool's Day, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. What I'm telling you right now is not an April's Fool's joke. This will be my last episode of Talkin Dawgs on April 1st. So I got one more of these remaining. It's been an absolute joy to do this, although fairly short-lived. We started this, I think, in August. I just have an opportunity that's come up that's not going to allow me to do a lot of the radio and podcasting opportunities. I've already let everybody know that Thunder and Lightning is also going to come to an end for me, and it's a very, very difficult decision, very bittersweet for me to step away from this stuff. This stuff was always a dream of mine, to be able to broadcast and have my own radio show. I was approached about this several times by SuperTalk. I didn't really want to do it, to be candid with you, when we first had those conversations. I just had so much on my plate. It wasn't that I wasn't interested in it. I didn't know if I could balance it. And Miss Debbie Smothers over there at the radio station, who's such a kind lady, Tim Stewart, and those guys at SuperTalk, they really pushed me to do this, to replace Jim Ellis in his role with his show that he had. It was such an honor to do this, to have Talkin Dawgs, have my own radio show, my own platform to do it. It's been such an honor. So I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. I know there's a lot of people that they might not tune into this on a regular basis, but those of you that have taken time to listen to this every single week, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me your time and for, I guess, thinking it was important enough that you should take about an hour of your day on Wednesdays to listen to this. It really means a lot to me. I appreciate the support, and thank you for those that have listened to Thunder and Lightning over the years. I want to especially thank those people that have made that a daily part of their lives. This has been a very difficult decision to do this and to move on from SuperTalk, who's been so good to me over the years. I've loved working for SuperTalk and in different avenues, and the people there are just phenomenal people who have been so kind to me and generous and have never once told me I couldn't say something, I couldn't be who I am. So I want to thank those people at SuperTalk as well. But we got one more episode of this. We got more Mississippi State baseball to talk about next week, and we'll talk maybe some more spring football as well. So I want you guys to tune in again next week as we have one more episode of Talkin Dawgs. I'm not sure what the plan is for SuperTalk moving forward, if they will have another show. I hope that they do. If somebody else will come in and take this thing over or whatever is planned, hopefully you guys will continue to stay tuned here on SuperTalk. But I will be back next week, and we will discuss some more sports one more time here on the radio. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in once again. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see some of you in Oxford. Some of you will not step foot in that town, and I totally understand that. But if you are and you see me, don't forget to say hello. Come up, have a conversation with me. Would love to talk to you guys about some Mississippi State sports or whatever you want to talk about. Until then, thank you guys once again for tuning in. We've had a great show here. Mississippi State heading to Ole Miss this weekend. Top 20 showdown between the Rebels and the Bulldogs as State tries to get another big series win and SEC play. We'll be there to cover it, and we'll be here next week to talk more about it here on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a great week. We will catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get by. Said I'm gonna try it with them too hard.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.